welcome to the line of sight. Now your personal data will be safe. Now your concerns over sharing data with companies like Facebook have been addressed. The government is promising that all will be well, thanks to the new Personal Data Protection Bill, which the Union Cabinet cleared on Wednesday. But there are still several issues with the bill that raise concerns over data privacy and protection. Firstly, the bill has classified data into three groups: sensitive, critical, and general. Sensitive data would include details about yourself, your finances, health, sexual orientation, and religious beliefs. To process this data, a company will need to get your explicit consent. But what is explicit consent? This is something that has not been specified. The next is critical data. As per the bill, the government will define what critical data is, and this data will need to be stored and processed solely within the country. Any data that is not critical and not sensitive will be categorized as general data, and it will have no restriction on where it is stored or processed. The bill also requires companies to ensure the data is processed in a fair manner. But who gets to decide what and how much is fair? The lack of proper guidelines in this regard makes it ambiguous for companies and puts individual data at risk. Also, such companies are supposed to maintain a serving copy of personal data within India. This goes against what the RBI had required earlier, that all banking and payment data has to be physically stored in India. So, only keeping a server copy can be a cause of concern. Also, there is an added burden on companies to spend huge amounts to set up these servers in India, particularly foreign firms like Facebook and Twitter, which have millions of users in India. Experts say localization will not help in data protection without a proper policy. Now, what happens in the case of data breach? The data company is supposed to inform the Data Protection Authority in case of a data breach. But the bill seems to have given full freedom to the data company to decide what data breach should be reported to the Data Protection Authority. In other words, the data company may or may not report a breach to the authority. With such ambiguous clauses, the question still remains, is your data in safe hands? For more such videos, subscribe to the Federal's YouTube channel. Also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn.